you have to start with the problem set 6 and example number 10. Example number 10, problem set 6, example number 10. Draw the frequency polygon for the given data. The data is given, different workers require the different times for completion of the work. So the number of days and the number of workers. These 5 workers required, the time period for completion of the work is 8 to 10 days, 16 workers required to 10 to 12 days, 30 workers required 12 to 14 days, and 40 workers required 14 to 16 days, 35 workers required 16 to 18 days, and 14 workers required 18 to 20 days to complete the work. And from the given data you have to draw the frequency polygon. Here you have to draw the frequency polygon, not the histogram. For drawing the frequency polygon from the given class mark, you have to first find out the class mark and you have to draw the graph of class mark versus frequency. So first class is 8 to 10, frequency of this class is 5. Second class is 10 to 12, frequency is 16. Next class is 12 to 14, frequency is 30. Next class is 14 to 16, frequency is 40. Next class is 16 to 18, frequency is 35. Next class is 18 to 20, frequency is 14. And you have to find out the class mark. Upper limit plus lower limit divided by 2. Class mark of this class is 9. Class mark of this class will come 11. Class mark of this class will come 13. Then 15, 17, 19. Like that you have to find out the class mark. Then while drawing the frequency polygon, you have to prepare the 2 class. Which are that class? The class preceding the first class and class succeeding the last class. Which one is the class preceding the first class? You have to prepare your own and you have to consider the frequency of that class is 0. Try to understand this thing. Every time I told these things and you have to understand these things, that for drawing the frequency polygon you have to prepare the 2 classes. One class, the class preceding the first class and the class succeeding the last class. And this class is in continued position. You have to write that class. This class will come 6 to 8 and their frequency will come 0. And last class will come 20 to 22 and their frequency you have to consider as 0. Then you have to find out the class mark. 6 plus 8 divided by 2 is equal to what will come 7, and you have to say the coordinate of the point 70. Here this class mark you have to find out 20 to 21. 20 plus 22 divided by 2. At that time this will come 21. And you have to say the coordinate of this point will come 21, 0. Means you have to plot the graph of class mark versus frequency. So coordinates of the point is 7, 0, 9, 5, then 11, 16, 13, 30, 15, 40, 17, 35, 19, 40 and 21, 0. And according to this point you have to plot the graph. For plotting the graph, this horizontal axis is the x-axis, so you have to say that this one is the x-axis, this one is y-dash axis. You have to take the scale, you have to take the class mark. This you have to say that class mark. This class mark you have to take on the x-axis and the frequency you have to take on the y-axis. And you have to plot the graph. So I will write this properly. So class mark is 7, 9, 11, 13. So I will write 7, 9, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19 and 21. Then you have to step by step, you have to draw the crimp mark. Then you have to write the scale. The difference between this class mark is 7 and 9 is 2. So on x-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 2 days you have to write. And on y-axis 1 centimeter is equal to 10 workers you have to write. Then step by step you have to plot the points. First point is 7, 0. So this first point is 7. On x-axis you have to go to the 7 and on y-axis you have to go to the 0. At that time I will write the coordinate of this point 7, 0. Next class is on x-axis 9. and y-axis 5. Next class is on x-axis 11, y-axis 16. This on the next point is on the x-axis 13 and on the y-axis 3030. Then on the x-axis 15 and the y-axis 4040. On the x-axis you have to take 17, on the y-axis you have to take 35. Then on the x-axis you have to take 19, on the y-axis you have to take 14. And last point is remain 21 0. 21 0 means the frequency of this 21 is 0. So you will write plot. You have to point all the points properly, and after that you have to draw the line. So you have to start with this 0. So step by step you have to join. This point you have to join like this. After that this point you have to join. In this way you have to draw the frequency polygon. Here you have to